Hello, and welcome back to Big Blue Banter. I'm Ainsley Sowers.
And I'm Ben Hall. Today we got coverage from football, soccer, volleyball, and softball. But first, we're starting with basketball.
Big Blue Madness happened this past weekend, giving fans an inside sneak peek at both men's and women's basketball. Big Blue Madness is the annual tip-off event for the University of Kentucky men's and women's basketball teams. Players and coaches are introduced to fans and given the chance to showcase some of their skills. This year's event was packed with big moments, from John Wall making his surprise return to Colin Chandler defending his slam dunk title. It set the tone for what's hopefully going to be a great season of Kentucky basketball.
After their second bye week of the season, Kentucky football team's gearing up for a matchup against Texas. Kentucky is coming from back-to-back losses against South Carolina and Georgia and has a challenging schedule ahead, beginning with Texas, led by Arch Manning. Mark Stoops is hoping his team is better coming off their bye week.
Had a really good, productive bye week. We needed to get some guys healthy and needed to get better. And I feel like we got a lot of work done last week, got guys healthy, got a little head start on Texas. Texas is Texas. You know, it's a typical team. They're very, very good at every level. Good on offense, defense, special teams. Had a couple of tough games this year, like most of us have, and you know, they responded with a very big win in a big rivalry this past week. So they're playing very well, and it'll be another great challenge for us.
Up next, UK softball recently hosted their annual Big Blue Boo event.
Here's Phoenix Stevens with more.
I'm outside of Kentucky softball's John Krupp Stadium, where the Cats played host to Indiana on Friday, and of course that's enough fierce rivalry on the field, but that's not quite the most important thing that happened here at John Krupp on Friday. Of course, you think about the unofficial leadoff to the season Big Blue Boo that occurred, right? You see all the people behind me. There's inflatables, candy, spooks, and booze inside of John Krupp. Let's take you inside of there to see what occurred.
Of course, when you're outside of the stadium, you can already see the giant lines of people waiting to get in for Big Blue Boo. Of course, everyone's dressing up, including the UK staff. You walk in and you're immediately greeted by big, giant inflatables, UK-themed, Halloween-themed, everything in between, right? It's the complete extravaganza. Big Blue Boo is such a big event for not just UK fans, but even people in Lexington in general, looking to find something to do, looking to take their kids for something to do. Of course, the big Halloween inflatables, there's plenty of those around, booths and whatnot, everything to do. Even UK softball players before the game against Indiana were all having fun, just kind of hanging out, looking around the place, seeing what there is to do, taking pictures with fans, of course. You know, UK softball, their unofficial leadoff to the season, lost to Indiana in the game 9-2. Kentucky just couldn't get it going with 5 errors. I'm Phoenix Stevens. Talk to you later.
Earlier this week, down in Baton Rouge, Kentucky volleyball stayed dominant, sweeping LSU in straight sets to keep their momentum rolling in SEC play. Kentucky overcame an early deficit in set 1 using Ava Sarafa's serving run and strong net play from Book Bultema and Lizzie Carr to take it 25-22. In set 2, Eva Hudson led the offense with 9 kills as the Wildcats rolled 25-18 to go up 2-0. LSU fought back in the third, but Brooklyn DeLay dominated late, capping her 20-kill performance with the match winner. Final score, Kentucky sweeps LSU 3-0. With this win, Kentucky keeps its momentum rolling in SEC play. The Cats put off yet another win last night, beating Auburn 3-1, improving its SEC record to 6-0.
Now on to Desiree Skrupinski with men's soccer.
Thanks, girl. It was yet another big week for Kentucky men's soccer. Friday, October 10th, the Cats traveled to Huntington, West Virginia, where they took an unfortunate loss to Marshall University, losing 4-1. After coming off of last season and a tie, and the year before that a loss, the Cats were hoping to come out victorious this time around, but unfortunately couldn't pull through. With hopes for a better turnout, the Cats returned to the Bell Tuesday to take on non-conference Indiana. However, this match did not end how the Cats hoped either, causing them to lose the 11th game home winning streak that they had. With a strong start to the game, the Cats came out with several shots on goal and a very strong forward play. They kept this momentum and forward, and Wee K. Breeze scored the first goal of the match, giving Kentucky a 1-0 lead into halftime. However, the lead went away when Indiana scored 2 more goals, finishing out the game 2-1. To highlight Kentucky goaltender Sebastian Connell, he had 6 amazing saves throughout the game and definitely held the team together, as well as some amazing defensive skills shown by the Cats. With hopes of starting a new undefeated home streak, the Cats take on South Carolina this Sunday, October 19th at 3 p.m., right here at the Bell. That's all for men's soccer this week. Back to you, Ansley and Ben.
Thanks, Des. Coming up next, we take a trip to Alabama for SEC tip-off event.
That is next up on Big Blue Banter. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Big Blue Banter.
Israel and Kai took a trip to South Birmingham, Alabama for the SEC tip-off as college basketball is right around the corner. Guys, take it away.
Thanks, Ben. College basketball season is officially here.
Yeah, Izzy, we had a chance to talk to Mark Pope about his number 9 preseason ranking, and ironically, Pope told us how important that certain number is.
I was elated that we came in at number 9. We see 9 everywhere we go. We think 9 is in our future destiny, and we're chasing it hard, so I was really thrilled with that.
Pope mentioned that y'all are ranked number 9 in the AP poll. Number 9's the banner you're going for. Did y'all talk about just kind of the weird connections with all the
I think we mentioned that the other day. Trent Noah wears number 9. They put Trent Noah on the little thing about us being, AP number 9 and how this year is supposed to be number 9. So, it's definitely a sign for us. We just take everything like that, into account.
So like Jalen said, that number 9's popping up everywhere. The graphic he was alluding to, having Trent Noah wearing the number 9 banner that's in the Joe Kraft Center. It's popping up everywhere en route to Kentucky's 9th championship in school history. So do you think they have what it takes to win that 9th one?
I do. I do think they have what it takes. When you look at this year's squad, so much deeper than they have been in previous years, and it really looks like they're much more connected than they have been in previous years. This team really feels like they're moving as one unit.
So not only is the men's basketball team gearing up for a national championship, it seems to me like Kenny Brooks thinks that the women can as well. We asked him about his comments at Big Blue Madness, and he honestly stood on business.
Well, I did make that statement, and that's why I came here. I wanted an opportunity to compete at a very high level. And if you can compete at a high level in this league, you'll give yourself a chance to win a national championship. And I think everyone, should try to play for that. I don't know if anybody's going to come in and just say, I just want to get to the tournament. I've been there, and so you want to go a step further. You want to, I've had a taste of the Final Four, and it was wonderful. You want to get back, but this time you want to win it. And I think I would be cheating Kentucky fans if I didn't think that way.
So obviously, exactly what you want to hear from your head coach. But we've just learned some breaking news. Dominika Pruva has retorn her ACL, so that's definitely going to put a strain on those championship hopes for the Cats.
Yeah, it definitely hurts when you look at the sport of college women's basketball. You want as much depth as you can when it gets even later into the season and you have those championship dreams. So definitely not a good thing to hear before the season even starts. But, we learned that this was in practice, so it's one of those things where, Kenny's still confident in the team that he has available.
Yeah, so a little bit of a better news here. The men's basketball season starting up next Friday, opening an exhibition matchup against number 1 Purdue. Here's what head coach Mark Pope had to say about that matchup.
Well, we were really excited. We kind of put the schedule together to kind of ease our way into the season. And so my expectation is that Rupp's going to be on fire, and our guys are going to be super nervous, and it's going to be their first time with this group ever being together on the floor, and I expect that we're going to see things where we shake our head in disbelief that what were we thinking, and I think we're going to shake our head and be like, that was amazing. I didn't actually think we would see that today. I think it's going to be all the things.
So obviously, Coach Pope is ready for the season to start. He's been an advocate for playing these harder games earlier in the schedule. But how do you think this Purdue matchup will fare for the Cats?
Well, we saw that video of them carrying the logs and preparing for this Kentucky matchup. And, I like to say that brains are better than bronze when it comes to the game of basketball. I think Coach Pope is going to have them mentally ready, but also maintain that physical side of the sport as well. So going into that, I don't think Purdue serves as much as a threat, but I know you're about to say the game doesn't count, so that's the best part about it.
Exactly. Like I was going to say, the game has no weight at all on the record, their rankings, so it's a good place to throw in people and see how they fare. So obviously they're playing that game next Friday, #1 Purdue, to open up the season, following up with Georgetown not long after. So that'll be all from us here at the Banter Couch. We're going to toss it back to Ainsley and Ben at the desk.
Thank you, Israel and Kai. Coming up, we have the Keeneland Fall Meet continues with several big stake races.
And banana balls coming to Lexington. We will have more info on that next on Big Blue Banter.
Keeneland was home to history and high stakes this weekend as the talented field of 3-year-old fillies took center stage for the 42nd running of Queen Elizabeth II's Challenge Cup. Opulent Restraint set the early pace, leading through the opening fractions while Lush Lips sat right behind in second. As they turned for the home, Lush Lips powered past the leader near the 8th pole. She pulled away late to win by 1.25 lengths in a final time of 48.01 for a 1.125 on the turf, successfully pulling off the upset and defeating previously undefeated Laura Lynn. It's the first Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup win for trainer Brendan Walsh and jockey Tyler Gaffon. Lush Lips earned over $387,000 with the victory and more than doubled her career earnings. There are 3 more stakes raced this weekend. On Saturday, the Grade 2 Lexus Raven Run, the Grade 3 Perryville. Then on Sunday, the feature is the Grade 3 Root and Riddled Dowager Stakes.
Banana balls coming to Lexington as the Indianapolis Clowns will take on the Loco Beach Coconuts in a 3-game series from September 11th to the 13th in 2026 at Legends Field. Tickets are available now based on lottery that ends October 31st.
Thanks for joining us this week for Big Blue Banter.
Make sure to tune in next week at 1 p.m.